Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Taurus. The sun is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the star. The sun is a dwarf star, and in that we recognize that every star is a sun. And so this star is so far away, we don't see it as a round sun. We see it as a blinking light up there, but it's a sun. And so this dwarf star, right, which is the extroverted expression of our beingness, is now coming through Aquarius, through the star, into a much bigger expression. And so this is giving the light to the moon, which is our subconscious, which is a dead planet, right? There's no light, and it needs the sun to give it its light so that we even notice that it's there, is in your sign. And so you have a chance to look deeper into your subconscious, deeper into your feelings, and as such understand what you want to let go of. So this is the combination up in the sky, and Aquarius is of course ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the Fool, and you are ruled by Venus, which is the Empress, and the Empress is always love and beauty and also the money. So just there we see that a lot is happening, right? The yoga position for Aquarius, side plank, we stretch ourselves out like a star. And the yoga position for you is here, of course, the movement, that we reach up, but we bring the information down to the people. You are the King of Pentacles. Is your birthday between April 10th and May 9th? Then he is your court card. If your birthday is before, please look in the description below. I have listed them all there because the dates are different to the sun dates, right? When the sun is in Taurus. You are Taurus, the sensuous one. You love good food, you love everything beautiful, and you the second zodiac sign, and as such also connected to the second house of resources and self-worth. Back to the last reading, we had Capricorn Sun giving Taurus Moon the light. Trust your instincts and know when to go within. So right now I see one card coming back, and it's an important one, and we as such begin the reading. I mean, we actually have two cards coming back, and it's really interesting. I will show you when we get there. So we begin with Taurus. You as a physical energy, right? The King of Pentacles is getting the Five of Wands, which is Saturn in Leo. We are reading to the left. To the left is to the new moon. And so just understand that that's a state of consciousness when we look at it. But then when we become the card, you are not looking to the left, right? When you see it, then you are like, I'm looking actually outwards. So every card has in itself the cycle of life, but it depends where it begins. Does it begin to the left and then you go out to the right, or does it begin to the right and then you go within? The Five of Wands, Saturn in Leo, is testing yourself. You are testing your emotional intelligence, because the 5 and the 2 is the 7, the crown chakra, the emotional intelligence, to see what is it that you can gain from certain actions. What is the mother piece her bringing? You're getting the Daughters of Cups to the left, upright. And so the daughters here are all water signs, young generations. So it's almost like you are quarreling with the young generation here. It's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces in here. And understand the young generation here is actually quite more into having a good time, feeling the emotions, and not wanting to work the way we work now, the way we have been working in the past, right? And so maybe there is a testing right now in how to do things. But you also have these 3 zodiac signs with whom you maybe have this, you know, difference. Altogether, we get the 10, and the 10 is always a new cycle, a new beginning, a new one. So watch what is happening here, right? You are watching how they are fighting and how they are testing each other. It's not a bad fight. It's just kind of like this, who is stronger, who has more power. And the 10 arrives here as the sign, right? That is letting you know, yeah, you gotta have a look at what is more important, your well-being, or, you know, all the time fighting. Then we're going to look at the Venus energy. And Venus brings you the Wheel of Fortune. So here you have right away a 13. The 13 is Scorpio. Scorpio is your opposite sign. That's when you get your full moon. But we're going to the new moon, which is in your month. That's when you are realizing something, because there comes a transformation. The 4 is left, and the 4 is having the stability then to implement the shift and the change. What is the Wheel of Fortune bringing? It's bringing you under my umbrella. And under my umbrella is that moment where you can trust this bird, where you can trust the ideas that come through to you. You protecting these ideas, you're protecting this bird. And the 20 is, of course, in the tarot always the last judgment. And that's Pluto. Pluto has moved into Aquarius. And so Aquarius is coming through Pluto to you. But Aquarius is that big star. And so you understand something is coming right at you, because you have the 10 and the 20 is a 30. Then you have a 3-3. The 33 is mastery in the secret brotherhoods. And so in that mastery, observe how you go about your thoughts. And that's Jupiter. Jupiter is pushing you. Jupiter is the one that says, well, let's think about what we can do, right? Remember, Saturn is, of course, ruling Capricorn, and Capricorn is always the father, is that finger. So the Wheel of Fortune, right, is coming here to you. What is coming from your deck? You get the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is Sagittarius. And you see how he's going away from the Wheel of Fortune, and he's ruled by Jupiter. So it's almost like this Jupiter energy that brought you under my umbrella. It looks like as long as you're under my umbrella, as long as I protect you, as long as you here under my, putting your legs under my table, you do as I say so. Could be, right? And he's like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. But just, you know, that's like an expression that's coming through, but that's also old. And that's kind of like what here the water signs are like. Well, we don't want this, really. We don't need to test ourselves. We know who we are. We know what we want. And so you see that the Sagittarius is saying, well, I'm moving on, because he's the 9th zodiac sign, and the 9 is always the completion. What is Sagittarius saying? He's bringing you the example of bulls, and that's the Scorpio, and that's the King of Cups, Scorpio. And so he's moving into deeper waters. He's moving into a deeper understanding. And so Jupiter is pushing you. The 10 and the 9 is the 19. That's the sun. And the sun is always your personality. How much can you shine? How much can you bring the energy within so that you can actually go without with it, right? And so the 19 again is a 10, the 10, and the 8 is the 18, and the 18 is of course the moon. The moon is bringing you right now the aspect of what do I see as this stardom, as this new age that is coming into play, right? Because Pluto is 20 years now in Aquarius, and Aquarius is an air sign, and so new rules and regulations are happening, and we're becoming more psyche. And so here you are wanting to experience more mystical things, and you going further. But what is Scorpio saying? Scorpio is saying the 8 of Swords is coming. So you are walking into an 8-8 portal. And here the 5 of Wands and the 3 water signs is an 8 as well, right? And so here the 8-8 portal is saying you are going deeper, because here the 8 of Swords is like, there I am bound to my own type of thinking, and you need to wake up and liberate yourself from this type of thinking that is actually creating a prison for this tree. This tree cannot grow the way it wants. And so you are stepping away from the Wheel of Fortune. You want to change something, and you want to go deeper. And when you go deeper, you see that you have created your own type of prison, because this is Jupiter in Gemini, a prison where you cannot communicate, because Gemini is the communicator, and Gemini is opposite of Sagittarius. And Jupiter is here, the Wheel of Fortune. So there is a really interesting story happening here, right? Where you see that you want to go out, you want to do your thing, but then comes here a Scorpio, and through that Scorpio you are noticing things. You're noticing that Jupiter only going out there is not satisfying enough. And of course, in that going out and wanting more, the communication is bringing you an understanding that we're not really free. We have difficulties to express our deeper feelings, which is what here Scorpio wants. Scorpio always wants a deep, deep, deep conversation. And this is where you're going. You're going into this. You see this? You're going here. Or this Sagittarius is leaving this, and you see to what he's going into. Okay? So, of course, the 10 and the 9, the 19, the 10 is left. The 18, the 9 is left. The 9 and the 8 is the 17. And the 17 is coming to teach you something. That the 17 turns into an 8, and the 8 with Venus is the 11, and the 11 is the inner teacher that is coming and teaching you something of significance, right? And so you understand what is happening here. Now I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, and you get the World, and the World is upside down to the left, and so the World is pointing over to the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is literally that moment again where you see Jupiter is pushing you out here through a Sagittarius, and we had the 10 and the 21 is the 31, or the 10 and the 3, which is then the 13. Again, a transformation is happening, not only to you, but to the whole world, right? And you see her here inside of all these people creating a circle, and she's actually connected here with the peyote plant, right, where we get our visions from. So the 13, the 4 is left. But what is the world saying? The world is bringing you the Hermit. That's Virgo. That's go deep within. And it's almost like you got to go deep within, because here's a 9 and here's a 9. That's a 9-9 portal. What is Virgo saying? Virgo is saying, then you find the Magician, which is the 1 in the 21. So the 9 and the 1 is again a 10. You have a 10-10 portal here with the Wheel of Fortune. See that here the 3 and the 10 again, the 13 brings you to the 4 and the 9, again the 13. A transformation when you go look deep within. The 4 and the 1 is the 5. The 5 and the 9 again is the 14, and the 14, always understand, is Temperance, and then the 5 is left. But what is the Magician bringing? And the Magician, I'm just going to put this down for a moment, the Magician is bringing you the Wild Woman, the number 62. So we had here the World, then Virgo, then the Magician, then the Wild Woman. So liberate yourself is what Mercury is saying, because the 62 is the 8. The 8 and the 1 is the 9. Then you have a 9-9. 9 portal with the Knight of Wands. And the 10 and the 3, the 13, the 4 is left. 3 times the 9 and the 4. So you understand, right, that then the 4 with Venus is the 7, is the emotional intelligence. Have the emotional intelligence to understand what is coming here at you, because here through Venus a lot is happening to you. But you understand that something is pushing you to change something deep in your heart. Go within, understand the world, understand here Salvador Dali, right? He's like literally saying, you're the magician, you have power over all 4 elements. And the 4 has come up through the 13. Those are the 4 elements that we have to empower ourselves, and we're the 5th element. So you understand here, right, that you have something that is talking clearly, right, through Jupiter, through Sagittarius. And Sagittarius did bring you Scorpio, the transformation, right? Twice the 8. Liberate yourself out of this 8 and see that this is an 8 as well. So now you have 1, 2, 3 times the 8 here. Awaken. Awaken to a new power. Dance yourself free, right? Even though it's facing down. It was facing over to the Wheel of Fortune. Use the Wheel of Fortune to liberate yourself, to create this new you. Amazing. Then comes here the soul aspect of Taurus, and you get the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands is Moon in Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius is actually doing something to you. Right, so there's a 9-9 portal, and of course the only antidote that I can see for these two is Virgo. Go within, see deep within, and you see he is facing the right, but when we become it, he's going within. So the 5 and the 9, the 14, again Temperance, and the 5 is left. You are left. You're going through a transformation, even though it's difficult, but you come out as a new you. What is coming from Aquarius? The 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords is that moment where we're like, oh my God, Sun in Gemini, right? You had Jupiter in Gemini, so you had 18 swords. And 18, that's of course your subconscious, something is coming out, the moon. And the moon is connected with Pisces, so understand there is something wanting to be liberated. The 9 and the 10 is, of course, the 19, that's the sun. The sun is pushing you forward through Aquarius to see what's going on in your head, what kind of worries do you have? What kind of limitations do you have? Who's stabbing you? And so the 10 and the 9, the 19, the 10 is left, the 10 and the 5 is the 15. That's Capricorn, and Capricorn is always then the attachment or the being cut off, right? And so observe that. What is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing? It's bringing you the last judgment to the left up, and that's the card that came last time as well, under Capricorn. And so Capricorn has come up here through, right, you. We had here the 15, and the 15 is the 6. The 6 is the find your self-love, find yourself in a new light. And now you get the 20 pointing here at the 10 of Swords. And you had last time this coming up, but under the deck of Capricorn. Now it's under the deck of the Mother Piece Tarot. So find here Venus, the Ankh, that is covering the earth with all the rainbow colors. So leave people alone, right? That head stabbing that you feel, it's like you worry about things that you don't need to worry about. So the 10 and the 20 is the 30. The 30 and the 5 is the 35. The 8 is coming here again. Liberation, right? And going deeper, knowing that Scorpio is bringing you that, and being wild and open and free, and let's not push people into believing that they are controlled. Finished. But you had the 20, so you have a 2020. So under my umbrella, what's going on there, right? And so, of course, I want to know what is the last judgment bringing you, and you get the same card that you had last time, the Ginnungagap. The Ginnungagap. Have a look. I'm not kidding. There it is. You see? I mean, this is really amazing. I've never seen that. So here, I'm going to read it to you. Before all, the veiled void strains its velvet fanfare of silence, breathing, shimmering, glimmering, dust emerges, swarming and forming, fated to become something new. Life must be the physical screams to exist, potential without, from within all and everything. This is the void. This is the seed. This is the Fool. This is Uranus. This is taking the step to the left, but you know you come out there into the world. So take that step, and the 0 is here. So you have here a 200. 200. Amazing. So the 15 and the 2 is the 17. That's Aquarius. Aquarius is pushing your buttons. Aquarius is teaching you something. Aquarius is making you realize how you create your own prison. How you can really see that this, the 10 of Swords, is like, what's going on, right? I do not want that. You had the 9 and this 9. I mean, you understand? It's like there is really something that is saying, you gotta awaken, you gotta come out. Also here, the 9 of here, the Sagittarius energy. And so you see here the 200. The 200 and the 15. 215 is altogether then the 8, right? And the 8 is again letting you know you are in that infinite spiral to liberation, to freedom, to dance yourself like a wild woman into absolute freedom. Use that freedom, use the knowledge that you're getting here, use the understanding that the Ginnungagap, the void, the seed, is bringing you the information to liberate the world that sees that things are off balance. The world has come, and so you understand that here the 20 is letting you know, start a new movement, because that's what you are. You are the movement. So start a new movement and see that you can be a beautiful teacher, and the star is helping you to use that power. Wow, what a beautiful reading. I hope I see you in the next one. That's when we get the sun in Pisces. Pisces has come up here through the young generation, right? A new path of love. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.